All right, so surprise for you and for me, probably. I don't think any of you knew this because I sure as shit didn't know it. Maybe one of you did. Congratulations. You're better than me. Shudder, the Japanese movie that was pretty popular during the J horror golden age, I guess is what you may call it, when The Ring and The Grudge and Shudder was one of those films, Dark Water and Pulse and One Missed Call. Like there was just this like early 2000s, late 90s, there was just a string of Japanese horror movies. And then they all got American remakes, and a lot of them are terrible, except for The Ring. The Ring is very good because Gore Verbinski rules. Yeah, anyway, so Shudder is kind of in the middle ground for me of those films. Pulse is the best. Pulse fucking rules. If you haven't seen Pulse, or if you haven't seen Pulse in a while, it's better than you remember. It's atmospheric dread fucking personified. It is incredible. It is one of the most atmospheric films you'll ever watch. It rules. But anyway, Shudder. Shudder's always one that I was like fine with. The story and everything, I was just okay with it, right? You have a photographer, him and his girl are seeing a ghost, and they're trying to unravel the mystery. And as they do, secrets start coming out. Things aren't going so well, and some harsh realities come to light of what happened in the past. Yeah, this was just kind of following beat for beat in a lot of ways, and some of the horror was pretty cheesy at times, and kind of that classic Indonesian feel to it on the lower end side of the Indonesian films. But as it went on, and I got more invested in the backstory with our characters, the main ghost girl and what ends up happening with her, as that continued on, I got more invested in it. And then I really actually think that of the three versions of Shudder I've seen, I actually like the way this one handles the ending, but only probably because I have the other two, right? Like the first one has the better kind of like gut punch, um, you know, reaction moment where you see it, and it's supposed to like be haunting, and it's just like a quick moment where you see the picture, the moment. If you haven't seen it, then you know we'll just leave that where it is. But if you have seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The reveal of what's in the picture. So you have that moment, and then that just leaves you with like this sense of like the heebie-jeebies, right? That's the way it's supposed to have that kind of twist reveal type of finish. But this one expands more upon that. It goes beyond that, and it actually adds a little more depth, and I actually quite liked the addition of what they threw in at the end here, but maybe only because I have seen the other ones, and I've seen that version of things where it's kind of just leaves you with that lingering, haunting feeling of the ending. And this one goes a little dark, a little deeper, and more thought provoking in a way where it handles. It ties up the loose ends of the story, I guess, and in a satisfying way for me, where it isn't just so much about the shock value of the ending. It's more of the conclusive, uh, um, you know, like finish to the story. So, yeah, I appreciated that, and I liked it. I think if you're a big fan of the original and you want to see a better remake than the original remake from America, this is definitely a much better remake. But if you're like I don't really have an interest in it, I don't think there's anything in here to win you over that's going to be like this is better than the original. It's not. I think you can be totally fine with the original. This isn't necessary. But if you haven't seen the original, I think this is adequate. I think this is fine to watch as the only one you see. I would still recommend the original over this one. But if you're like, fuck it, I don't know which one to watch, and you just have this one on Netflix right now because that's where it's at, and you're like, is that one fine to just watch? Yes. This one's fine to watch. the horror isn't going to work as well, and I think that's probably where the biggest downgrade is going to be noticed. And so that's the bummer here, and that's why I would recommend the original over this one, because some of the horror in this is silly. But I just like how the story is handled in the end a little bit better, because it's just more satisfying and not so much about the like, oh shit moment. So I don't know. It's good. I give it a 3.5. Right, so it's like I liked it. You know, I liked it about as much as the original, I guess. Not huge on it like some of the other, like a Ring or as I said, Pulse, which fucking rules. But there you go, Shudder. It's on Netflix, not on Shudder, and it's TT, not DD. So it'd be funny if it was on Shudder. Check out Shudder on Shudder. 2 different Shudders, and it's a remake of Shudder, which would have been fucking ridiculous to say. Anyway, all right. So check it out. Let me know.